Your girl, Nicole LaTreece, is here. It's Financial Sunday. I don't know about y'all, but I look forward to these Sundays all the time because this man that is joining me is a powerhouse of financial knowledge, y'all. Like, if y'all have not taken anything that he said to heart so far and started using it, you are losing. And we don't want y'all to lose. We want you to win. We want you guys to learn your way into financial freedom, right? We want you to learn how to invest your money in the right things. We want to help you learn how to keep your wealth. So tonight, this man has something really interesting that he wants to talk to y'all about. And I hope y'all give him the floor, give him your time, give him your dedication to say, T, I hear you. Help me. So without further ado, the one, the only, the legendary Mr. Terrence Jones, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Oh, I am doing fine, dear. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, I am feeling great. I am out on Greenwood looking at all this black excellence, seeing all the vendors that have decided to come out and show out for this biker classic car kickback. Everybody's having a really good time, but I'm really seeing wealth and information being exchanged between us in a good way. So download some stuff to me so as soon as we done, I can get back out there and tell them this is what y'all need to know.
That's great. That's great. And it's funny you're talking about surrounding yourself with positive people because tonight's episode, what we're going to talk about, I know we talked about credit and we talked about how to build money and stuff like that, but we're going to talk about something that I think is equally as important, and that's how to avoid poor thinking mindset. What we're going to do today is we're going to dive deep into something that affects everybody at one point or another, and that's poor
Okay.
thinking around and about money. Now, when I say poor thinking, limited, I'm not talking about your intelligence. I'm talking about a limited fear based reactive fear that you have towards dealing with money and building your money. So
Okay.
what we hope to do today is talk about ways to avoid it and to shift our mindset into building a legacy, not just surviving. So Nicole, let me ask you something.
Okay.
When I say poor thinking mindset, what comes to mind with you?
Um, just really making poor choices when it comes to your money or what you should do with your money due to lack of knowledge.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. When I think about poor thinking, it reminds me of a joke that Dave Chappelle said. He said in one of his stand-ups, he was talking to his dad about something. He said, "I hate being poor." And his dad said, "Dave, we're not poor. We're broke." Poor is a mindset that few people can escape. Being broke is just a circumstance that can be overcome. So when we talk about poor thinking, we're talking about a mindset that isn't about your income or your educational level. It's about how you treat your money, where you thinking money is always scarce. I never have enough. Or those
Mm.
people that say that wealth is for them, it's not for me. I don't make that kind of money. It must be
Also,
nice.
the disassociation. Okay.
Yes, yes. Making fear-based decisions with your money. Oh, I'm not going to invest because I don't have a lot of money to invest. Those people who, when we're talking about money, they don't want to look at their bills. They don't want to think about their bills until they get the letter in the mail or the due date.
Mm.
And then my favorite people are the ones that's I'm on that hustle. I got to get that bag every day. What you doing? Got to get that bag. Where is the bag that you can't get that every day of your life? You trying to get it. They don't have a strategy. It's just running wild, claiming to get money. Now,
Mm.
where does that mindset come from? Where does that survival mode come from? Now, just to be fair, I'm going to acknowledge that there's some kind of systematic inequality. I don't subscribe to it, but you just got to be fair. Some people have a head start, some people don't. It is what it is.
Right. That's
But
facts.
one of the things is generational trauma. How did you watch your parents deal with money? Did they
Mm.
party and spend money? Did they waste money? Did they not invest? Did they not save? Were your parents on the paycheck before Christmas trying to get all your toys out of layaway?
Ooh, I
Like
got
Christmas,
one.
go ahead.
Did your parents even talk to you about finances growing up?
Keep talking. You preaching.
Because for a
You
lot of
know,
us, the examples that you're giving, they are things that we ourselves put two and two together, right? We made our own system of math based on what we thought we saw with very limited understanding because our parents weren't actually talking to us about finances.
that's absolutely correct. And that brings me to my last point. Our personal experiences. You don't know you will never know what to do with money if you was never taught how to handle money. And I'm not taught some
Yep.
people always believe they got to have $1 million to learn how to handle it. No. How about you learn how to handle $100?
Yeah.
You know, start small. So here are some common poor thinking traps that I want to bring up to people that once again, if it applies to you, let's start trying to avoid it.
Right.
Right. So the first one is scarcity thinking. I never have enough. I can't go on a trip. You got a roof over your head. Be grateful for what you have. You have food in your house, roof over your head, gas in your car, clothes on your back. Start there. The second one, now here's one that's about to touch your soul: comparison culture. Social
Mm.
media lies. Everybody get on social media. I got big bags. I got big bank. You see their glory. You don't know or nor understand their story. But yet
Oh,
you
and it's
you want to spend and keep up with them or be like them and deplete your assets. They're trying to be like somebody who don't know who you are and don't give a damn about you.
And see, it's interesting that you say that because I actually had that conversation with somebody just the other day. I can go out and pull out $1,000 out my bank. Give me all ones and $200 bills. I'm gonna make sure you see them $200 bills so that they cancel out them ones, and you gonna think, dang, she got money. I need to be like her. But guess what? That $1,000 got to go right back in the bank because I got them bills that I got to pay, or I got them supplies for cake doubles that I need to get. So, yes, that's the comparison mindset. That's how it operates nowadays.
When you compare yourself to somebody else, you are already making a mistake. But here's a solution to that: unfollow those accounts that trigger your envy. Follow your own and focus on your own values.
Right.
Another one, and this one hits close to me. This one hit close to home. Fear of investing. I remember when I
Mm-hmm.
was a young man, and I would say something to my mama about the stock market or Wall Street. Oh no, that's just like gambling. Oh no, you lose all your money. That's all I knew about the stock market till I got to college. If you get
Right.
into it, you probably gonna lose all your money.
Mm.
I didn't know nothing about buying small shares, buying parts of share. All I knew stock market had to be bad because you're gonna lose all your money the minute you get into it.
You can do that in regular life too.
But
So,
our
what's the
fear,
difference?
our fear of investing
Mm-hmm.
keeps us limited. And so,
Yep.
and the solution to that is start small, get educated. Investing isn't gambling; it's a long-term mindset. Invest in where you shop. Start there,
Mm.
and
Give
then
us an
as your knowledge grows, you get more into it.
So give
Now,
us an
here's
example
one
of what that looks like. You said
exactly.
invest where you shop. So what does that mean? Break it down to the people all the way to
Oh,
the ground
well,
floor.
shoot. Well, you know what? Say you saying nothing slick to a can of oil there, baby. Invest where you shop. Let me tell you, I shop at Best Buy and Amazon. Guess what I have stock in? Best Buy
What?
and Amazon. If I don't know nothing else, I'm sitting there looking at that. Oh, well, Best Buy stock usually goes up around Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
you know, is what it is. I don't know much about the stock market. I know enough to be dangerous, but where am I investing my money? In nothing I don't know about. But guess
Right.
what? I know about Amazon because I get a package on a daily basis at my door from them people. I think when I stop shopping there, they stock go down. I shop so much at Amazon. That's a whole nother story though. But yeah, invest in
Well,
where you shop.
And it's one of those things, if you don't know, that doesn't mean let the fear grip you, right? That means it may be time for you to elevate and get in alignment with someone who does know that information. But, for us, we grew up with people not being allowed to in our business, right? Even
You
though
know what?
sometimes business can actually help us do good business.
You know what? You're jumping ahead of me because I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get
Sorry.
there. Hold
Okay,
on,
let
hold
me
on. You're
whoop,
getting
whoop,
ahead of
whoop,
me.
whoop.
Hold
I'm gonna
on.
put it back in. I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
Bring it back in. All right, all right.
All right.
So number four of the poor thinking traps, short-term gratification. Satisfying your temptation
Mm.
instead of accepting your delayed gratification. You don't hear me talking to you.
So that
Ask
microwave
yourself.
popcorn mentality that you can push a button and you an instant millionaire. Boop 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 boop, like the popcorn kernels. It
Well,
it
not
don't
even
work that way.
well, not even that. Also, just spending to be spending. Like you
Mm.
know that saying? That money burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah.
Sometimes let the money stay. Make a plan. The people like when I said in example one, I don't have enough to go on a cruise. I can never go on a cruise. Well, if you save for a year, guess what? You might be able to afford that cruise if you just put. But again, we talking about satisfying your temptation versus accepting your delayed gratification.
Well, can I say something right there as a mindset elevation coach?
Talk to me.
Stop saying what you can't do, right? Maybe 9 times out of 10, that's a lot of people's issues. It's I can't, or I don't have, or I will never. As a certified mindset elevation coach, where your mind leads, your body follows. What you speak over yourself is what is going to come to be in your life. So if you know that you want to do different, start speaking different now.
Nicole, are you in my notes? Because you're jumping again.
I'm sorry. Look, you gonna get to it, and I know you are, but that's my specialty. Mindset. We working in conjunction. You got the financial mindset, and I got the mindset. But we got to keep drilling it home, right? Because we can't wait sometimes until you reach that point. God is
Mhm.
like, Nicole, say something now. He gonna say something later, but say something now, so that then when he says it later, it's gonna come together for everybody.
That's all good. I'm gonna say
I
that
got
later.
you. I
It's
got
funny
you.
you bring that up because I'm gonna actually say that later.
Okay.
But and the last one again is what we talked about. When you avoid financial conversations,
Mm.
when you silence about money building, it's like I don't want no. And you said, and you referenced this earlier. I don't need nobody in my business. Look, stop being broke by yourself. Talk to people, get some ideas for people. If you don't know how to become financially sustainable, you need to start talking to people who are doing something about it.
And see
Talk with in
that whole saying is the dumbest thing I've heard. Do you have your money in the bank?
some of it,
You
yes.
understand? So somebody in your business, right? Because your money's not in your mattress, it's not in your house. There's another person, financially certified, that has access to look at your information whenever they feel like it. They not supposed to, but they do from time to time. As a former teller with repeat customers, like you just be wondering. So if you entrust your money, your paycheck to a bank, why not get smarter about what you're doing and bring it to a person that knows? And then a lot of times people don't understand within your company. Now, we're not talking about small business owners, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
within your company, I work for a pharmacy. I'm not plugging nobody else's business. I work for a pharmacy, a reputable pharmacy. If y'all know me in real life, y'all know where I work.
Hmm.
In my company, as a part of my benefits, I have the EAP program, which is the Employee Assistance Program. There is a financial component that is built into most EAP systems. You already have access to a 401k with your business. Why not talk to the EAP people to get a plan in place, or to run your ideas of, hey, I'm thinking about investing, but I don't know nothing about it. Can you give me some resources to be able to do so? They not in your
Exactly.
business. They just giving you
Exactly.
they leading you to the water player, but they can't make you drink, right? You gotta do that on your own.
You are correct on that. And that's the thing. Stop avoiding these conversations because at some point in time, everybody who is financially sustainable was ignorant to the fact of how to do it, and somebody talked to them. They shared that pride that I don't need nobody in my. Yes, you do. You probably need a couple of people in your business to
And
help
that's
you
why
out.
they rich now, because they still got people. They understand the value of having the right people in your corner. God did not design this thing for us to do it alone in any way. Relationships, community, career space, finances, like that's why you don't have people doing the same thing. You got doctors, you got lawyers, you got financial people, you got bakers, you got people who do all different types of things.
That is so
Start
correct.
equipping yourself and aligning yourself with the right people if you really want to get out of this poor thinking mindset.
Hmm. Talk to them. Talk to them. And so the next thing we're going to talk about is the mindset shifts for financial sustainability. And you kind of referenced this earlier. So, the first thing you could do here are actionable mindset shifts to help you transition from that poor thinking to financial sustainable thinking.
Mm,
Stop saying, I can't afford it, and ask yourself, how can I afford it?
mm,
Creativity flows when we shift from shutdown to curiosity.
straight up.
Okay, give me an amen on that one, baby.
Wow. We in church right now, baby. That financial church.
you
Not
know,
church, but church.
touch. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. The second mindset shift is move from hustle to harmony. Sustainable
Mm,
wealth isn't about working 24/7, 365. It's about aligning your effort with your plan, with your intention.
mm. And you gotta have both. You gotta have the plan and you gotta have the intention, right? The plan is nothing but the blueprint. It is okay, like I got a baking business. I'm in the process of getting ready to open my micro bakery division. What do
Hmm.
I need to do from where I am now, just selling cake in a jar, to be able to have a fully successful micro bakery selling cookies, brownies, mini bundt cakes, and cake in a jar? That's it. That bridge in between is the blueprint. That's the plan. But I have to intentionally want to grow into that space and do what it takes to get to the successful micro bakery. I don't want to be working at the reputable pharmacy that I work at for the rest of my life. Come this time next year, I want to be hosting Financial Sunday from freaking Aruba.
And that's the
Hey,
thing. And that is the thing. When I talk to someone, I talk to a lot of young people. They're like, "Yeah, man, I'm looking to get an extra job," and I'm just like, "Well, how much money you think you're going to? How much money you think you're going to be able to earn from working two jobs or three jobs? That's hustle.
not as much as you think, because you cutting into your time. Because without time, you can't make adequate money.
When your money is based on how many hours you work, you've just put a cap on your potential earnings. When your money is based on your physical ability, at a certain point in time, you've put a cap on it, on
Right.
your potential earnings. But if your money is based on your skill, there is no cap because there's no limit to your learning. That's the one thing I tell you. You can go get two or three jobs. You still gonna find yourself hustling and chasing bills,
Let me
and you're
tell
gonna
you.
find yourself tired and worn out because you don't know
Let
whether you're coming or going.
let me tell you. As
Talk to me.
someone who has held down multiple jobs at the same time, as someone who has held down in the past two jobs, two full-time jobs, and went to school full time, don't do it. Because at the end of the day, it is not worth it. It ain't, because you don't have what you feel like you will to show for it. You will become that hamster on the wheel with that scene in front of you of what you're trying to get to, and you just running and running and running, and the wheels are spinning and spinning and spinning, but you're really not going nowhere. You running in place.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
Exactly. And but you know that when talking to people, they just think if I stay busy, it's going to work out for me. No, it's not. You have to have a plan. Anybody who is financially sustainable, anybody who is successful, have a plan. They have a plan. They have a step-by-step idea of not only what they want to do, how they want to do it, and where they want to go with it. And that's
See,
the mindset of moving from hustle to
to
harmony.
harmony. And yeah,
When you
busy.
work in your, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be real. Being busy without a real plan is a waste of time.
Exactly. When you are in your purpose, and this is one of the things I was sharing with a person the other day, when you find your purpose and you work in your purpose, everything falls in place for you. You don't have to work too hard. You remember when me and you talked, and I was like, you know what, I'm thinking about doing a podcast. You was like, well, T, you want to guest speak on mine? I was like, well, good Lord. That fell in place real fast
Yeah,
because I am working in alignment with my purpose. And when you do that, when your footsteps are ordered, not to get religious on anybody,
come
but when
on.
your footsteps are ordered, God put things in your path that's supposed to be there. And it just seems like I know I'm going in the right direction because everything is just in place. I'm just
Falling in
walking
place.
into it.
It's everything is in proper alignment.
Exactly.
Ooh
Exactly.
man, when you get there, child, that's it. Look, I'm walking in that path now, and it's just like, oh yeah, Lord, I didn't have to do all that to get to this point. Cool. I'm gonna do more of
Exactly.
this, right? Because little humble brag, but now I got people actually looking for me in the places that they know where I am when it comes to cake doubles. I got orders, private orders that are now starting to come in that I'm like, well, I'm not ready for all that. Well, I don't feel like. Let me put that out there. There are times where I'm like, I don't feel like I'm ready to achieve that level. But the Lord is like, why not? It's what you do every Saturday when you out on Greenwood, anyways. Now I'm bringing the people to you. You don't have to go find them. Thank you, Lord.
And move on.
That hit
Exactly.
all the way different.
Hey, you never ever question the gifts he give you. If he put it in front of you, you can deal with it. You just have to get out of that comfort zone to do what needs to be done.
Right, right.
That's it.
Understandable.
So the next mindset shift idea is move from shame to strategy. So this is what I'm
Mm.
talking about. You remember, and I'm gonna get on a level with everybody. You remember when you was in high school and you took algebra one for the first time, and the teacher told you solve for y. Where's y? Who cares about y? When they put all these letters, like look, you like look, teacher. I know numbers. Why are you putting letters in front of numbers?
Letters in there. Come on.
You know, x, y, a plus a squared, b squared equal. I don't know none of this. So you remember when you saw that, you were just like, oh Lord, this is crazy. I don't know this. That's the shame. The
Mm.
strategy is when you learn how to do it, then you realize a squared plus b squared equals c squared. When you had the plan
Man,
and you knew the strategy.
let me
Same
tell
thing
you.
with your
All
finances.
yeah.
You don't have to know how to deal with it. Just don't be afraid to jump in it. Sit
But I have a
down,
question.
lay it on me.
Why do we why do we feel shameful for asking for help? I literally just had a
Because
conversation with a gentleman that I know, and like he was talking about it in the aspect of men feeling comfortable asking for help. Why has society programmed us in personal aspects as well as financial aspects to have a difficulty with asking for help? We don't know it all, right?
well, here's the problem, Nicole. Social media. makes
Mm,
everybody look like they're a self-made millionaire, like they just answered all the questions by themselves. How many times
okay.
do you see a person get up and say, "My village lifted me up"? What do
Right.
you hear? I got here, I did this, I got the bag. You hear all this stuff. You never hear, "I want to thank the 1,000 customers who shopped at Cake Doubles." Not saying you would do
Right.
that. Just
Right.
an example. One of the things that when it comes to thanking people who have helped you along the way, Drew Brees, famous quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, when he reached his touchdown milestone for throwing the most touchdowns in NFL history,
Mhm.
every person that caught a touchdown from him, he gave them a ball of the touchdown they caught. So he
Oh
signed the
wow.
ball of the game, of the date, the game that they caught that touchdown, because he realized he didn't get there by himself.
Right.
He
Wow.
got
You
there.
better preach.
He got there with his team. And this is why people are ashamed to ask for help, because they're like, well, nobody else asked for help. Shoo. Anybody with common sense asks for help.
Like,
You
how
just
long
have
do
to
you
be
want to
willing.
struggle? If it ain't working with you, just you doing it, what? Why not? Like, and I get it. I've been on that side before, right? And you
Hmm.
know me, like
Hmm.
me and a certain individual, we had to go toe to toe for me to feel comfortable to divulge my financial information, and I was locked in with that person, right? And then now in the space that I'm in, it's just like I have one vendor colleague and she kills it. But what she does, she gets so tired, she doesn't get to take a break because it's everybody's at her table. Hey, what do you need? I don't even wait for her to ask me because we're in the same lane, right? We're in the grind, we're in the hustle lane. But if I'm having a slow period and I can see that you're getting wore out and we're only halfway through the vendor event, hey, you need to take a break. Like, tell me how to make the drinks. And, I have no problems with it. Setting up tables, breaking down tables, making sure that they good because I know that that's going to be returned to me in a different type of way. But that's my village. That's Black Wall Street. That's the history. Like, we going to have a little history moment right now because I'm sitting right here adjacent to Greenwood. Greenwood, for everybody who doesn't know, is Black Wall Street in Tulsa. It is the original collective space that we as Black people, once we became free, were put in 35 square blocks because they thought we wouldn't do anything. They thought that we weren't capable of anything. We had our own village in the midst of a very white society. We didn't need them for anything. Yes, we still went out and was butlers and maids and all that stuff, but we would get paid and we would bring that back to our own community. The dollar circulated within our own community. We had churches, we had schools, we had banks, we had hospitals, we had doctors. We had everything that we needed. So if we had all of that then before they tried to destroy it, why can't we get back to that now? And it's so much easier. It's possible. It's beyond possible right now. It should not be a problem for us to come together and lift each other up in every way. I don't need to know how much money you made and you're at a table right next to me. But if you need a break, if you need an assistance, if you need spoons, if you need something, why am I going to trip about being able to give you something that's going to help to build you up? You do the same thing for me. That's why we're here.
Well, that's the
I need
thing.
us to get back to that.
We don't. Some of us don't believe that somebody would be willing to help us or be that kind
That's
of
true.
friend without wanting something. And it is what it's the mindset that's created by society.
Well,
We
but
have
at the
we have
same
we have
time,
went from a helpful society to a selfish society.
and that is very true, right? But you do what you do to do it. It ain't about that. We're going to go back to church. It ain't about necessarily that person. If I give somebody spoons because they've run out, I don't necessarily look for that person to bless me back, right?
Hmm.
I look for my blessing to come in the obedience of helping someone who needed something, then my only kind of expectation or desire would be for them to pay that forward. You don't have to pay it back to me, but if somebody else needs straws and you got an ample amount of straws, hey, you need some of these straws? And that's how we keep it moving forward. It doesn't always have to be the dollar specifically. It could be your time, it could be your support, it could be your strength, it could be your physical ability. Hey, I've been out here vending for 12 hours now. I'm tired. My arms hurt. I can't lift a thing. Can somebody help me break my tables down?
That's right. That's right. That is absolutely right. That is that, and we just kind of need to get back to that. And
Yeah.
but we,
So selfishness is poor
it's gonna
thinking
take a
as
movement.
well. It
It's
is,
definitely
but
gonna
I
take a
just want
movement.
to put it out there. Selfishness is poor thinking mindset.
It is that is part of a poor thinking mindset. Also, so let's get back to these mindset shifts. Let's go ahead and knock these
Go
out.
ahead.
The
Let's
next
shift it on
mindset,
back.
yeah, let's shift it on back. Let's get from ignorance to learning. Stop settling
Mm.
for not knowing. If you
Mm.
see somebody achieving something that is of an interest to you, instead of sitting there and saying it must be nice, go learn something so you
Right.
too can take off. Better yourself. That's the problem with a lot of us. We don't want to better ourselves. We rather settle and stay in our own comfort of our own blanket of ignorance, not knowing something instead of getting out there being uncomfortable. As they always say, success is on the other side of comfort. You
Well, I
have to
want to
be
put a
comfortable to
that.
be
Oh
successful.
yeah, there's comfort on the other side of being uncomfortable. Because once it stops being uncomfortable, you settled in. But we're evolutionary creatures, so once you get comfortable in one area, guess what? Uncomfortability comes after getting comfortable.
And you just have to keep trying to learn something. And the last one, as far as the mindset shift, is move from that surviving mindset to sustaining. So, what do I mean by moving from surviving to sustaining? First things first, when you get your paycheck, don't you pay one damn bill. Pay yourself. Pay yourself. Don't have to be a lot of money. Pay yourself.
You know, you trying to get me to learn that one.
I
Child.
know. Because you take them bills. But guess what? But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Nicole. Them bills gonna be there. As
They
long as
are.
you don't ignore them. And this is one thing about bills that I tell people all the time. See, when you call them people and talk to them people, that staves off a lot of bad things from happening. Just
Mm,
talk to them. Hey, I know my bill is $150. I want to make a payment plan. I want to pay 75 now, 50 here, and then I'll finish off the balance the next pay by the next period.
yeah.
Good, because trust me when I tell you. Here's the thing, and this is what I learned from being an auditor for the state of Texas. We don't want to shut you down because there's no money once they shut you down. Right? When I was auditing
Right.
businesses,
Hmm.
I only make money when you make money. So why would I want to shut you down? That's kind of like cutting your nose to spite your face. Companies are not going to make money from you if they don't have any customers because they cut everybody off.
Right.
But if you ignore them for 5 months, you ignore them for however long, they are going to cut your service off because you're not trying to even work with them. But not going there. Go from surviving to sustaining. Pay yourself first. If it's $20, take that $20, put it into your savings account for a rainy day. Every time you get paid, take some money, put it in your savings account for a rainy day. Because you never know when you're gonna come back and need that money.
Right. And it's about building the habit, right? It still
Hmm.
goes back to mindset because you are a need, right? Like
Hmm.
your bills are necessities. And I guess we're going to have a conversation about that. Needs, necessities, and wants. We finna break it down like that too. You are a need, right? It's like if you think about when you're on an airplane, what do they tell you when they taking off? If the
Hmm.
oxygen mask drop from the overhead compartment, are you supposed to put your baby's mask on first and then yours? No. We have to start looking at ourselves as a sustainable part of our lives because without us in good health, with proper mindset, loving on ourselves, we not gonna make no money.
Exactly. Exactly. And you have to, in order for everything else around you to work, you have to be sustainable. If you're not sustainable, nothing else gonna work. That's that, and that goes back to what we said earlier about watching how your parents take care of money. If mama and daddy wasn't doing what they're supposed to do with money, I got to make sure my kids have clothes. Well, your kids have clothes, but how about you have something? Because they looking at you.
I need you to get out my business right now, child.
I'm,
Cause mine is getting ready to move here, and I'm like, man, I gotta get this and I gotta get that. And it's just like, well, Nicole, when is the last time you did anything really for yourself when it comes to those things too? Like,
Sometimes I prophesize. I get on out there and
man, you be all up in my business like Pastor Todd, child. The Lord is blessed, y'all.
Oh
Cause
my
he
goodness.
like, I need her to get this message, and she ain't listening to this, and she ain't listening to me. So I'm gonna start downloading it to other people, so them
Mhm.
other people can give it to her. All right, Lord, message received. Cool.
So here's some things you could do. So now we talked about shifting to the financial sustainability mindset, right?
Mhm.
So here are some things we can do, some tools we can do to reinforce that financial sustainability mindset. Um, First tool is daily money affirmations.
Okay.
Let yourself know your value isn't based on your net worth. So you don't have to get
Mhm.
out there and compete with people. My value is within myself. So I don't have to buy the new Jordan, the $300 Jordan tennis shoes to fit in. I'm going to come there with some New Balance and everybody's going to love me. I don't have to go to the store and buy the $70 polo shirt. I'm going to wear this Walmart shirt and everybody's still going to love me.
And the thing is, like, these companies don't pay that much money for it,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
They they
Regardless of the fact,
they
yeah.
get companies overseas, all that stuff. That shirt probably cost them maybe $6.
But you're
And
paying
then
for the
they
name.
ship it over. Exactly. You paying
But
for
you're paying for the
notoriety.
name
You paying
because
for what everybody else feels is in. As long as I look good, I don't have to have no labels on me.
But see, you're paying for the name, and this is what people with low self esteem. They're paying for the name because they think the name will allow them to be in the cool crowd. You see what I'm saying? I gotta have the $70,000 car because all my friends have it, and the dude on Instagram had the new sports car. But you living at home with your mama, and you got the Escalade, or you got the whatever, foreign car, the Infinity, this, that, and the other. When you realize your value isn't based on your net worth or whatever assets that you may decide to own, but that it's in you, you stop spending money unnecessarily. Also, another tool to reinforce that wealthy
I'm not on
financial
Greenwood.
sustainability mindset, budgeting tools. You use Excel, know where your money is going, how it's getting there, and what it's doing. Know what's coming in, know what's going out. When you start tracking your money, you start being able to account for your money. Also, financial reviews. What did I spend this week? Here go one that's for you, Nicole. How many items are in my Amazon, Temu, or Sheen account? You know, you gotta look at that. Like, what am I buying and why am I buying? And then ask yourself, what does financial peace feel like, and how can I get there? If your goal is to achieve financial peace, what is it? And then you need to make a plan on how to get there. Last but not least, again, I can't keep stressing this. Mentorship and community. Get around people who are building wealth consciously. Money moves different when you're surrounded by healthy models. People tend to understand money better when you talk with somebody who's walking that same path with you, trying to get to financial sustainability. You see your money different. You spend your money differently. And that's one of the things that it has to be important to you to be around people who is trying to move up like you're trying to move up. It is uberly important. Now, I'm about to throw you a curveball, Nicole. Here's a bonus discussion. What are, can you name one of the biggest financial decisions you will make in your life that doesn't involve money? Oop, Nicole, you there? Nicole?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My whole audio just straight cut out. So I didn't want to be rude. I saw your lips moving, so I was like, I'm gonna let him talk, and I'm not gonna interrupt
Okay,
until my stuff start working again.
that's fine. I had actually asked you a question. I said,
Okay, what was the
I'm about
question?
to throw a curveball at you. Can you name one of the biggest financial decisions you would ever make in your life that doesn't involve money?
Ooh, one of the biggest financial decisions I will make in my life that doesn't involve money.
Hmm.
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, I got five for you. So here, I'm not,
Okay,
now right now. When I say this first one, I just want you to say Amen. That's all I want you to say when I give you this first one. Okay.
I'm listening.
One of the biggest financial decisions that you will make in your life that doesn't involve money is who you decide to marry or partner with.
Ooh, don't do them like that. Come on, man. You can't hit them with the
Let me
whammy
tell,
off the jump.
let me just tell you who you marry or
Ooh,
partner with. A compatible partner can multiply stability and growth. An unhealthy relationship, baby,
it'll
will
tear all
drag
that
both of
down.
you down mentally, spiritually, and financially over time.
Ooh, all right, Lord, message received.
Okay, can I get an amen? Can I get an amen?
Man,
All right.
a no, I'm not gonna give you an amen. I'm gonna give you a hallelujah,
So
child, because this is true.
another financial decision you make that don't involve money, how you spend your time. Let me
Time
say this:
is money nowadays, ain't it?
if it doesn't bring you peace, profit, or purpose, don't give it your time, energy, or attention.
Ooh, hold
Bottom
on,
line.
say that. Hold on, say that again for the people in the back.
If it does not bring you peace, profit, or purpose, you do
Oh,
not give it your time, energy, or attention.
dang.
Simple and plain.
Look, I ain't got nothing to hide behind because you hitting them with it today.
Another one, your career or industry choice.
mm,
That will determine your financial trajectory. I know a lot. I'm gonna say this: when COVID hit, them lifetime cashiers at the fast food place was circling their wagons
man.
because their jobs was not resilient against economic shifts or outside external forces.
Mm.
I do taxes. Unless the world just ceased and come to an end, I'm always gonna have something to do.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So the thing is, when you selecting your career or your industry choice, is it sustainable from external forces? Will you still have a
And
job if the government decides to shut the country down?
and see, this is the that one specifically is one of the pivotal things that I think parents really like. If you don't feel like, well, there's never a time not to talk to your kids about finances, but I understand why a lot of people don't, right? Because they don't feel like their kids will understand the nuances and intricacies and all that stuff. I get it. But that point that you just said is something that is very important. Because if you look at it nowadays, college is too expensive to go to, right? It's a lot more people who are pushing trades or, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but she started a lemonade company at what, 9 or 11?
Mm-hmm.
She's a millionaire now.
Mm, mm.
So what's wrong with figuring out how to get your kids, the youth in the community, engaged in their financial future? before they even understand the impact that their financial future is going to have.
Exactly, exactly.
I'm
And
about
that
to
mo-
bring these babies out on Greenwood on Saturday. They about to come out and see what we do.
and that brings me to my next thing. Who you listen to for advice? You remember when I
Mm-hmm.
told you earlier, my mom was like, "Ooh, no, stay away from the stock market. You'll lose your money."
Mm-hmm.
When you listen to other broke people, what do you think you're gonna be?
Yeah. You are the company you keep, right?
What they two sayings come to mind. When you talk and listen to a fool, now there's two fools.
Don't do them like that.
And when you show me your circle, I'll show you your future.
And when you said the one about the circle, that takes me to iron sharpens iron, right? That's what it's supposed to do. But
Supposed
an impure piece of iron can also cause rust in
Yeah.
another piece of iron. So if
Once
you
again.
have somebody in your circle who's not really on your level, it is okay to step out of alignment with that person to get in proper alignment with what your purpose is. If that person is meant to come with you, they will elevate with you. They will talk with you. They will, hell, sometimes even imitate what they think you're doing before they know that you're doing it. And then you can see their effort. You can see their intention. You can see and say, you know what? They don't just want to be on that level. They trying to get here. All right, how can we maybe do something together? Or what wisdom and knowledge can I impart on them so that they can fully come into where they're supposed to be? But if you have a person in your circle who is not doing what they're supposed to be doing, if they are not on what y'all need to be on, you need to remove that person or yourself from
Mm,
that circle.
exactly. Couldn't said it better. And the last one is your identity and mindset. Do you see yourself as a victim? Do you see yourself as somebody who could just get by? Or do you see yourself as a champion? The internal narrative of yourself often guides your external outcomes. And you have to see yourself as a winner. Whatever it is you're going to do, say, look, I'm not getting out this till I'm on top of this and get to work.
See, and it's interesting that you say that because when we was in church today, the
Mm-mm.
song said, I am chosen, not
Mm-hmm.
forsaken. I am
Mm.
who you say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am who you say I am. Know who you are, inside, out, financially, knowledge, heart posture, all of it. Get in proper alignment with yourself and then ask for God to bring the right people to be in alignment with you. And also ask Him for discernment when you feel like something ain't right.
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly. So that's all that I have today. So let me give you some closing thoughts. And I want you guys to take this with you. You don't have to be wealthy to have a wealthy mindset.
Mm,
But understand this, every poor financial outcome starts with a poor thinking habit.
mm,
If you flip that mindset, the money will follow. A poor mindset will always cost you a lot of money.
in the end, child, you gonna pay either way, right? But it depends on what is that payment and where is it gonna come from.
Exactly. You have to understand that being poor, having a poor mindset, not being poor as a situation, but having a poor mindset is going to break you. It's going to keep you broke. It's going to
Mm,
keep you in survival mode. It's going to keep you racing, not in harmony, but in hustle.
right.
So that's all I have today. So look, everybody, if today's episode helps shift your perspective, share it with someone who you think needs the help. Hey, if it changed your life and it made a difference to you, email me and let me know. My email address is tjones at paladin tax, paladin tax.com. Email me, tell me, hey, I listened to the podcast, I heard what you said. Some of the stuff was good medicine for me. Thank you for it. Let me know. Let me know how it helps you out. I'm very
Yeah,
interested.
definitely, definitely. And if you want, you can drop a money emoji in the chat down below, and I will send you guys the direct link information to Mr. Terrence Jones. I am telling y'all, like between he and I, it is our mission, it is a part of our purpose to make sure that the people that we come in contact, whether it is directly in person, through these podcasts, through word of mouth from somebody else, the people that are brought to us, that we elevate them into the space, not that we necessarily want them to be, right, T? It is where you have a desire to be, but your desire has to be your own. In a
Exactly.
world that tells you you have to be this, you have to do this, you have to have this, or you're nothing, that's not true. And what did you say? It was about wealth. You were like, essentially, I'm just going to say a wealthy mindset will lead you to wealth, right?
Yes,
So,
yes,
what
yes.
you speak upon yourself, what you think of yourself, is who you're going to think that you're going to be and what the world is going to think that you are.
Yes.
Even if you don't have it yet, sometimes you have to see it before you can see it. You have to be the one to say, you know what? Cake Doubles is going to have a mobile vending machine, a vending machine on wheels. I know it's a lot of stuff that's going to go into that tech, electric, cooling. I don't care about none of that. My vision is Cake Doubles is going to have a fleet of mobile vending trucks all over the nation. That's good enough for me.
Nothing
But
wrong with
that's
that.
wealth. That's being
Plan
able
it
to
and
see
make it
something that I
happen.
exactly planting that seed. All right, cool. Now I just need to, like I said earlier, I have the idea. I know what my vision of success looks like with that. It's time to build the plan in between so I can start taking step after step after step to achieve that goal. Cause I ain't playing. My daughter gonna be a multimillionaire based off of my efforts. She gonna have her own, but based off of my efforts, no, she gonna have something that if she don't want to work, cool. You gonna get some sort of education, whether it's traditional or whether it's life education. That's my only requirement. Because I
Exactly.
understand that I have a degree, paid for that degree, still got the debt for the degree.
Hmm.
Ask me, do I do anything with my degree now?
Do you?
No.
Mm.
I'm in a field now because my degree is a bachelor's of science in health studies. I got my degree in 2009. It's 2025. That's a whole lot of time to not do anything with that degree. But if
Right.
I had information, if I had somebody pushing that that's not the only way that I have to go, hell, I had a catering business in college. My catering business, had I stuck with it, had I had the belief that I can really do something with that, I could be cooking for everybody by now. But I didn't know. It was a hobby, it was a habit, it was a means to get extra money when I was in college.
Right. Right.
But
Understand.
what do I do now? I bake. You
Full
know what I'm
circle.
saying? So it's just like, yeah, but it's going around the mountain, right? Instead of being able to take the straight path, I went all the way around the mountain a couple of times, and it's just like, you know what? Like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But now that I've arrived at that point, now I can help my daughter to be able to figure out, not tell her, but to be able to help her figure out, baby, what do you want to do? And where do you want to go with it? She want to do art. All right, baby, design our logo. I mean, design our labels for the cake in the jar, for the cookies, all of that. Put your spin on it. But guess what? That means every time we sell a jar, every time we sell a cookie, your art is going into the world. So by the time you do become of age and you really start, people already gonna know who you are. And you ain't doing nothing but doing what you love. And
Exactly.
getting paid your 20% that she done negotiated within the company every time I make a sale. Like my daughter gets money now. and she don't even do no work in the business. She gets 20% of all my sales
Oh wow.
because I want her to be able to have something to get started with.
Hmm. Now, that's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
she a
good.
little negotiator. She might be going to law school for real.
Hey, hey. Whatever's clever, wherever it's clever at, you do it.
Right, and it's just a start. It's 20, and then it'll be 100 when I'm no longer here. She'll have full, ownership in the company. But at least she can start to understand, oh, this is also my business. The more
Hmm.
we sell, the more of my 20% I get. And
Right.
as an 11-year-old girl, she want that 20%.
I bet she do.
Okay, so let's get out here and sell these cakes. But
Oh, that's
it,
beautiful.
it that but it goes to everything. Like whether you're talking to your kids, whether you're talking to a financial advisor, whether you're talking to a trusted friend, like T said, like just make sure you're talking to the right people. Have the conversations to help you overcome your fear of feeling uncomfortable about where you are financially. The more you talk about it with trusted people, the sooner you will get out of the space of where you are and you can get into that happy place of financial abundance, financial sustainability. That's all we
Exactly.
want y'all to have. Because I'm on my way. I be listening to this man. I don't be wanting to. I'm going to be all the way honest because sometimes I be like, T, but this man been in the game for, I don't even want to say how long because then I be, kind of getting close to telling your age, but he's trusted, right? Like I said, he and I have been working together for over 12 years now. Somebody would have to literally hit me over my head, knock me out with chloroform, and erase my memory to have anybody else do my taxes. It's this man. That's the way that it needs to be.
Exactly.
So, those are my last words.
Well, hey, everybody, y'all have a good, safe weekend. And we look to talk to y'all next month at the end of the month where we discuss more financial sustainability ideas. Thank you again for chiming in, and y'all have a wonderful week.
Thank you, T, yet again for coming in and dropping a wealth of financial knowledge on our viewers, on our listeners. Like I said, I'm about to get out back on Greenwood, be like, hey, y'all check out the podcast. Actually, I had somebody last weekend approach me and was like, do you do a podcast? I said, yes, I do. He was like, man, I be liking to listen to you, your messages, and you watch me? Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I know we're doing something that is the right thing to be doing. So, T, thank you
Exactly.
as always for your time, your dedication,
Mhm.
access, G14 access to that wealth of knowledge that you have upstairs when it comes to the financial assistance and being able to get our people right. So, like he said, we will see you guys again at the end of next month for another episode of the Sunday Sit Down with yours truly, Nicole LaTreece, Financial Sundays with Terrence Jones of Paladin Tax Services. We will see you guys next weekend. Y'all have a good one.
Peace.